Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, College Football Edition. Today, we are going to be talking about the final college football playoff rankings, who got in, who got left out. We're also going to be talking about the transfer portal, which is on and hopping right now. And then talk about any other things. The Heisman Trophy that's going on this Saturday. We're recording on Tuesday. So by the time you hear this, the Heisman Trophy ceremony will be probably happening same day. We got the Content Tuesday crew of Cedric, Byron, and Justin. And Byron, typically this is where we say, take it away and give us the scores, but we do not have a game, but we still will always start the podcast with you. So take it away on what happened Sunday at noon.
Chaos happened, Martin. That's what happened. The college football playoff rankings came out, so they did their Final Four first and then ranked everybody else after that. I'll just say Ohio State ended at 7 because we weren't in the Big Ten championship game. So the four playoff teams were Michigan at 1, Washington at 2, Texas at 3, and then this is where chaos ensued. They put Alabama at 4.
And then just for people who didn't watch, Washington did, which I think, Byron, you were the only person who picked Washington, or Cedric, did you pick Washington too?
I wasn't on last week's
That's
episode.
right.
I would have picked Washington with my man Byron because I don't trust Oregon ever since I picked them the last time they played and they lost.
Oh, you say that now. Where the fuck were you last night? Leaving me there with Mitch. Man, be ashamed of yourself.
Mitch wasn't even that bad last week. I was probably
I
more
actually
mad
listened
than
to the
him.
episode. Mitch was not bad. I listened to the episode though.
It wasn't that bad, but he'd be just rambling.
But me and Justin picked Oregon because of Oregon's trajectory. Cedric said he would have picked Washington. Byron did pick Washington. Washington did win, so congrats to y'all. Oregon, only 2 losses are the same team. That's crazy. Texas destroyed Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game. That was not close. Michigan blanked Iowa in the Big 10 championship game. Fun fact, the Big 10 West is 0-10 in Big 10 championship games.
Well, then we'll have to worry about that next year.
And then, then the SEC championship game, which Alabama, which we've talked about the past couple weeks, becoming more and more dangerous, going against the 2-time national champs, Georgia. And to a lot of our surprises, Alabama did win that game. I was listening to some of our stuff last year. We said that Saban would go on a quasi-revenge tour. At the beginning of the year, it wasn't looking like that, but looks like the revenge tour is still going quietly.
It's not quiet anymore. He's in the playoffs.
So I know Martin a little happy though. You got to rectify. You got to see Georgia come back to be in Georgia in a way.
Yeah.
Wow. The petty of this nigga. Wow.
Bro, my history with them is well documented.
Yeah, it is. You used to hate those motherfuckers.
The only reason he was saying they win is so he could get right with God. So when they lose, he could talk shit.
Oh, yeah, man. I just couldn't believe it. But
you got a few years before you can start talking shit about Georgia again, man. That was a 29-game winning streak that was snapped on Saturday.
That's cool. It took 80 years to get to those 2 years. I can.
Oh, shit!
Wow. I got time.
Why?
I told you, man. Ever since he's like, I made that public apology. I need them to lose so I can start talking smack
yes,
again.
Sir, I'm back. I don't know. I can't pick on Jimbo anymore. He's at home.
How you gonna pick on the guy who literally just lost one time after not losing for almost 30 games?
I know it is actually kind of crazy, but I don't care. So
almost 3 seasons, almost two and a half seasons. Though,
where they do that?
2.5 seasons.
Hey, where they do that at, Justin? Where they do that at?
Like 2.5 seasons.
You guys are all right. Shit, I picked them to win the national title in the summer. So I had money on them winning. It was like $5, but. In seriousness now, Alabama in week 13 They were 8th in the college football playoff ranking. After the win against Georgia, they jumped to 4th. Let's just get into it. Obviously, start with Byron to make their way through. The biggest thing that people have talked about is Florida State, who did win their ACC championship game, finished 13-0, finished 5th in the rankings, and Alabama finished 4th, while the week before Florida State was 4, so they won a game and dropped a spot.
So, not just a game; they won the conference championship
game. So Byron, I'm gonna start with you, man. What were your initial thoughts? I was actually with you when you saw it. How are you feeling then? How are you feeling now? Like, this is something. It's never been done.
It's never been done, but again, it's Alabama, so you kind of expect these things with Alabama and the college football playoff committee. When I first saw the rankings, I just started laughing because I was shocked that they would jump Florida State and leave them out of the rankings because they won their ACC conference championship game. Like, they set out to do this year to make it to the college football playoff game, and seeing Alabama jump them, I know they were probably pissed off all day Sunday. My initial reaction was just a laugh, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, wow, they really hold Florida State because Alabama beat Georgia. I personally would have kept Florida State as number 4 because they're 13-0. I don't know why you would put a 12-1 conference champion over Florida State, but I don't get paid to make those decisions.
Justin.
Well, college football playoff is designed to fuck someone. Straight up. It's 4 spots and there's 5 Power 5 conferences. Someone always get fucked. That's just how it is. It's a shame that Florida State didn't get in, but I mean, as a consumer of all this, I really don't have a problem with them not being in the playoff without Jordan Travis. After watching 3.5 hours of Florida State, Louisville, and watching their offense not being able to do a goddamn thing, having to go to the bottom of the playbook to even get first downs, I don't have an issue with it.
Cedric.
Yeah, I get the logic with it, right? Like, it would have been one thing if Bama got in, so Texas had to get in. Because let's not forget, Texas jumped Florida State too, so did Bama. So if you're going to put Bama in there, you have to let Texas in there because Texas beat Bama. So that made sense in the holistic thing. My issue is, and I get Justin's point as a consumer of this, because you're going to get more views with this matchup, this Michigan-Bama matchup. You're going to get more views. My thing is, though, like, when we talk about getting there, like, to Byron's point, yeah, Bama won the SEC. They have 1 loss. Florida won the ACC, no losses. Injuries happen in the game. It literally is a sport where you are literally ramming your body into other people. Someone's bound to get injured. Someone's bound to get hurt. I don't know what else you do if you're Florida State and your best player, your leader on your team goes down, but you still come in every week and you win. My biggest thing is I think Florida State's defense really answered the fucking call the last 2 weeks. You get 6 sacks one week, 7 sacks the next week to keep you guys in this stuff, to keep undefeated, to keep driving, to try to get to this college football playoff. And then the committee's just like, yeah, fuck you guys. You're not good TV, essentially. You're not going to be good TV, so fuck you guys. Get out. Like, we've seen throughout the season, people drop even though they win is because of close wins. But I don't know. It's one of those things. It rubs me the wrong way. It's like, I'll feel like this. I'm glad that we don't have to deal with this shit for another year. I'm curious how they're going to determine buys because, like, it's crazy, but I get it. It's about money, so it is what it is.
Anyone else want to add any other things?
You go ahead. You're the one who's the most fired up about this.
Yeah, because I mean, I I don't understand how you cannot be fired up about this if you ever played sports, because you were taught that there's only one thing that matters: winning games. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Winning's all that matters. Michael Jordan, winning is all that matters. So you're telling a group of 18 to 22-year-olds that you won every game on your schedule, you beat everyone, you won your conference, but you don't get to go in because of people saying, as a consumer, you don't want to watch that without their quarterback. And college football is the only sport where someone would have the audacity to say that in a sport. Obviously, a viral tweet coming on, and I'm glad Cedric's on here. That's like telling Cedric in 2017 the Eagles aren't allowed in the Super Bowl because Carson Wentz got hurt. That makes absolutely no fucking sense in any other sport. It's not justified in any other sport, but for some reason, we're justifying this in college football. Makes no sense.
By that same logic, they should have kept us out in 2014.
This sport always been like that. Shit, before the BCS, you'll play the bowl game and the fucking AP pick the national championship. Pick the national champions.
That is true. You're right. But this is people who pick this stuff. And we're talking this, and it's funny how history kind of repeats itself. How the 2004 Auburn team went undefeated and didn't get to go to the goddamn national championship game. Because they finished the regular season ranked third in the BCS rankings. So it's kind of funny how it's and that was the start of people talking about we need a playoff. So now the last year, the 14 thing, we have an undefeated Power 5, which the internet is undefeated. People are pulling up tweets from 10 years ago when they were saying the stuff about Jameis Winston's Florida State team, saying that, oh, maybe they shouldn't get in because they've looked bad. And I also laugh how people think, oh, Florida State looked bad against Louisville, who was a top 14 team. Florida, who without their quarterback, rivalry game. But people don't talk about. So Alabama needed a 4th and 31 to beat Auburn. Do you know who Auburn played the week before? I just want to know.
New Mexico State and fucking happened? Lost.
No, they didn't lose. They got their asses kicked. But that didn't matter. Okay. And I think it gets more from an Ohio State fan perspective that when it comes to these fucking things, and we've talked about this on the podcast, it's always fucking Alabama. Every time they have one loss and it's the 4th spot, somehow they magically get it. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
There have been times when Alabama has not won their conference, but they get in the thing.
Wasn't it one of the years they jumped us?
Yeah.
Yep.
And and they didn't even play in the championship game.
Nope.
And we won the Big Ten.
Yep.
And the other argument that people talk about, which I'm really gonna have to just, and I actually like him, my guy Stephen A. Smith, talking about, oh, the committee didn't want Florida State in because of what happened with TCU and Georgia. First of all, TCU beat Michigan to get in the title game. Second of all, because I hate that people aren't objective on that damn show, because again, it's TV. He was talking about blowouts. Every team in the college football playoff in the history have been blown out besides Georgia. His Alabama team got their ass whooped by Clemson in the national championship game. Our team, we got blanked 31-0. These happen in the college football playoffs. There's been a lot of blowouts. So to say that one blowout's the reason Florida State didn't get in, okay. And the other thing was said, which everyone's brought up, Jordan Travis, which is to counter that argument. So if Jordan Travis is the reason that they're not in the college football playoff committee, in the playoffs, he must be the best player in college football. Why wasn't he invited to the Heisman?
Well,
how can you say one person is so big to a team, but he's not a Heisman finalist? I just want to know.
I don't have an answer for you.
I will ask this though. In fairness, where was his ranking at in the thing before he got hurt? Because he got hurt during Northern Alabama, right?
Mhm.
He probably wasn't going to get invited.
Well,
He probably
no, but
wasn't.
like
But how do you not get invited if you're the reason your whole team won't make
team
the
is
playoffs?
undefeated.
Yeah.
Their defense has let up. I think the most they've given up is 29 points this season.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Like, if he's such a big deal to why you're saying, oh, we didn't let you in because of Jordan Travis, but he's getting no national awards. Again, like I've been looking at all the arguments. He didn't even get invited. Like, so you're telling me Bo Nix, and I thought if he would have won, 2 losses to Wisconsin, he gets invited. Penix, undefeated, he gets invited. Marvin Harrison, who we all love Marv, but there were games where he did not do much. He gets invited. If Marvin Harrison goes down, they're not going to tell. See, this is the thing, too. If Marvin Harrison went down and we beat Michigan, they're not going to be like, oh, Ohio State was sloppy against Michigan and Marvin Harrison Jr. is not playing, so they can't get in the playoff. But Jordan Travis, the reason everyone is saying, oh, they can't get in, is not a Heisman finalist. To their logic, he's the most valuable player because no other team in that situation, they would have left out. If Milroe got hurt against Georgia and they still beat Georgia, they leaving Alabama out.
No.
If Michael Penix got hurt against Oregon, they leaving Washington out.
No, I wouldn't think they would.
Who the hell else? What if McCarthy got hurt against Ohio State? They're gonna leave them out because Michigan was looking ass.
Shit, if Blake Corum got hurt, they wouldn't leave
Corum
Michigan out. They wouldn't leave Michigan out because I mean they were rolling last year with Donovan Edwards.
So I just feel like everyone's argument when I counter it, there's no explanation. And then the one that really pissed me off is Mr. Sass saying that, oh, if you know, because it's a television business, if Deion Sanders was Florida State's coach, they would have been left out. What the fuck does that even mean? Because he brings eyeballs?
That's all it can mean. That's all it can mean. I mean, the only reason half the world watched Colorado this year for the first 3 weeks of football is because Deion's there.
And the machine pumped it up. And then once Horgan humbled their ass, they weren't the same ever since. And it's just crazy, too, because ESPN runs the college football playoff stuff. And the year that they just signed that deal with the SEC, like $3 billion, whatever the hell it is. And then this happens in the last thing, and they're all just trying to justify it. It's just like any other team, I don't think they would let them in. But it was Alabama. And then people say...
I mean, they beat Georgia, though. They beat, 29 game winning streak, Georgia two-time defending national champs. I think that has a lot to do with it, too. I think if it was, a one-loss SEC team that they beat, that, didn't have the pedigree that Georgia did, they probably wouldn't have gotten in. They probably wouldn't have gotten. Florida State probably doesn't get fucked in that situation.
Justin, who are you voting for the Heisman Trophy?
Jaden Daniels.
And who beat the shit out of LSU at the beginning of the year with your
Florida
Heisman
State?
Trophy? Okay.
With Jordan Travis.
Okay, that's all. Okay, that's all I need to say. They played. That's the other thing too. Alabama played
someone
them.
Always gets fucked. It had to be Florida State. Who cares?
Not an undefeated team. Never has been an undefeated team.
It's never been an undefeated team. I don't have anything to counter that. But they did not look good. It wasn't like Ohio State in 2014 when they beat the dog shit out of Wisconsin 59-0.
And if
they will look dominant with their third string quarterback, then they would have got in. Play better.
The only thing I would say on that is that Ohio State only jumped one spot. People aren't talking about that. They jumped one spot when that happened. Yeah, Alabama jumped 4 spots for a 3-point win.
Yeah, I don't got nothing for that. They should put Florida State at 5 then, and had Oregon at 4 then.
Because the week before, Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Washington 3, Florida State 4, Oregon 5, Ohio State 6, Texas 7, Alabama 8. That's why people are getting more pissed how the fix was in. If you already knew that's what you were going to do if they beat those teams, Why'd you put them down at 7-8 and waste people's time?
And then Michigan's reactions said the whole story. When they realized they had to play Alabama, they were like, "Oh shit!" They wanted Florida State because they knew. They
wanted TCU last year, and what happened to them?
Yeah, they got their asses beat.
That's the point.
They got their asses beat. But
that's the point. You play the game on the field.
But they wanted TCU, and yeah, they got, and McCarthy turned the ball over 3 goddamn times. But what you call it? Alabama's only a 2.5 point dog. Florida State would have been a 10-point dog against Michigan.
Okay, but you still play the games on the field, right? They're not one on paper.
No, they're not. They're not one on paper. But this is college football. There's been some shit like this that's been happening for the past over 150 years. This sport is not the same as the other sports where we have playoffs that you determine the shit on the field. Sometimes it's just a selective ass sport, and you have a committee making decisions, and they're gonna do some shit like this sometimes. You can't get up in arms about the shit all the time because it is a 4-team playoff and there's 5 power conferences. Someone's always want to get fucked, and it just happened to be the undefeated conference champion. Sorry, the committee didn't respect the ACC. Fucking, there's an ACC guy on the committee.
Nah,
pull up for your conference.
It's not about the ACC. It's about it's a money and politics thing. Because I put my whole fucking savings that if that was Clemson undefeated, their asses would be in.
For sure.
Let's not say it's the ACC. It's a Florida State money brand thing.
We acting like Florida State. We acting like Florida State don't have a big ass college football brand either, though.
But historically recent, it's been Clemson.
Yeah, historically recent.
That's what I'm saying. If Clemson was undefeated, they would have been in.
Because it's been like the revival of Dabo, so they would have been able to spend some shit.
And Dabo's won 2 titles in this thing. I would just also, and if you just look at the playoff history, they've always favored Alabama since 2014. One, I don't know why the fuck Alabama was ranked ahead of Tennessee when Tennessee beat Alabama at the end of the year in 2022. That was bullshit. Go to 21. That was Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, and Georgia beat Alabama soundly that year. 2020 stomped us. 2019 they didn't get in because, which we've talked about on this podcast, if Alabama has one loss, they've always been in the playoff every year. Ohio State will have one loss. No, fuck it. After that 31-0 game, Ohio State didn't get back in the playoffs till 2019. That's 3 years. Still winning the Big Ten.
Yep.
But Alabama could sit at home, not win their conference a couple times, still get in the playoff.
They won their conference this time.
They did this time.
They won their conference this time.
And hell, I even feel like I'm just like, okay, 3-point mutual. Because then Georgia's sitting back, and of course you put
that would be my bigger gripe personally. Georgia. I mean, I think Georgia's one of the 4 best teams, and then the committee always has 4 best teams to fall back on. They always have that, and there's eye tests, there's winning, there's all that shit. I don't think Florida State's one of the 4 best teams without Jordan Travis playing quarterback right now.
Well, they don't even get the chance to prove it, even though they've done it all season by doing the one thing you have to do, win the game.
Yeah, I mean.
And then also the other thing that ESPN tried to spew, because they're in bed with the SEC, they're like, why are Florida State fans mad at Michigan? Because Michigan got caught for cheating, so they should be the ones in the playoffs. I'm like, okay. Okay.
That's utterly ridiculous.
Okay. I was like, the agenda is clear. The agenda is clear. I'm just saying, man, like that with this damn coach too, Mike Norvell, he took this team in 2020, which was absolute ass. 3-6. 2021, 5-7. 2022, 10-3. 2023, 13-0, ACC champs. And again, without Jordan Travis, they probably are going to lose to Georgia. But if they beat Georgia, what the fuck's going to be the committee's excuse?
Oh, man.
This is going to be real fun. This is going to be real fun.
Man.
I think Georgia's going to be pretty pissed off, though, as well. So I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah,
I don't think it is either. But
it's going to get real. It's going to get real interesting if that happens. Claim national championship. You can still claim them bitches, just like the CFP.
I told Byron of this shit.
I would claim it if I'm Florida State. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you're right, it's bullshit, but at the end of the day, the fucking college football playoff is a TV show. It's a fucking TV show. It's a TV show. So I ain't gonna get mad that I ain't gonna get up in arms or extra pissed off because they try and put on the best TV show.
Well, that's the thing too, where you talk about the best TV show, but then these coaches are getting fired if they don't win. These players are getting death threats if they don't win. Why the fuck's it matter if it's a TV show? What's the point of winning now?
That's people. That is
obviously
people. But at the end of the day, the shit is a fucking TV show. That's all it is.
I'm saying, like, in a sport where you're taught to win, you either win or lose. But now you have politics in it.
Right.
College football has literally, since the beginning, it's always been like that. It's always been like that. Always.
Not to this extent on
gets
national TV trying to bullshit in front of everyone.
Someone always gets fucked. It was bound to happen. Fuck. Georgia should have just won, so we didn't have to deal with this.
Well, that's not Florida State's problem. Florida State was told they gotta win.
It's not their problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's not their problem. End of the day, bottom line, this shit's a TV show, and the fucking CFP did what they had to do, and you know, the Shally figures that might have been ESPN as well. Probably had a hand to do with that to make sure that they're going to get the best rating for that CFP semifinal game. And Michigan and Alabama are the teams that are going to do it for them.
It's crazy. Because now they've opened up Pandora's box with their logic, because their logic is, what do you call that? Cedric, what do you call that stuff if a case has happened and it got ruled a certain way and now other judges have to follow that type of ruling?
Precedent,
yeah. So, Justin, if Milroe gets hurt in practice, should Alabama still be in the playoff?
If he gets hurt in practice
and
leading up to the
game, yeah,
and leading up to it, they already made a decision now. What?
I'm just asking.
No,
they're not better than Florida State without Milroe.
So you telling me in between what? It's December 5th and January 1st. If Milroe turns an ankle and can't play in that game,
if he breaks his leg,
he breaks his leg. The committee should go and be like, yeah, we fucked up. Milroe, Alabama ain't about to be shit now. Florida State, you back in now. You say they should do that?
Why not? Didn't you?
Is that what you just asked me?
Is it a TV show?
It is a TV show.
Yeah, it is what he just asked you.
Yeah, we should do it. Yeah, we do it.
That is what he just asked you.
Out here.
I'm just saying, listen, it's a TV show, and I laugh too. I mean, it's wrestling now. If your champ gets hurt, you got to change the plans. You kicked the other motherfucker out the main event. I'm just saying, you said those words, not me. I was focusing on winning. You said it's a TV show. If he can't play, get him the fuck out.
Hey, that scenario, you are absolutely right. Let's just turn this shit fully into pro wrestling. Yeah. Let's just control everything. Let's just do it. Let's just do it all. I'm with it. I think this shit's a work anyway to begin with. So,
well, I mean,
you ain't changing much for me.
This Sunday they showed their ass, so you got the conspiracy theorists really showing it's a work.
Yeah,
I'm just crazy, man. Because what the fuck do you say to your team if you're Florida State? I'm sorry, you won bro. I'm sorry. They should have went to the committee and started beating the shit out of them. I'm sorry. If you're not gonna get it, you might as well just do something.
Murray said, violence, cries, riot in the streets, revolt.
This is absurd. I'm like, bro, what? But I guess Alabama beating Georgia by 3 jumped them from 8-4. And Georgia losing by 3. The committee said they're worse than Florida State. So how does that make sense? Come on, I'm just asking lots of questions.
I personally don't have the time to fucking dissect every decision that this goddamn could be, man. I don't know what to say about that.
Hey,
Cedric's laughing because he knows it's true.
That there is probably the best of all the things that have been said, like the fact that Georgia jumps 4.
So Georgia's 6 then. Georgia's 6.
Yeah, Florida State's better than them without their quarterback.
Florida State's
better than the 2-time national champions in their eyes.
I mean, they about to play us other. We gonna see in the Orange Bowl who's what's up, and that shit's going to flip at the final rankings.
Just before they did it, they picked the final rankings, and you're telling me that the the 29-0 team for 2 years, back-to-back champions. No injuries, none. Lose the SEC championship game by 3 points.
They weren't going to drop Florida State 2 spots for winning.
They jumped Alabama by 4, and they jumped Texas by 4. Like, they might as well have.
Bro, the fix was in. Like, if you're going to do that, you might as well put them high anyway.
I'm telling you, they don't value the meat of the ACC. That definitely has a lot to do with the decision.
Because it's not Clemson.
Clemson had a down year. Clemson had down year. Fucking North Carolina had fucking 4 losses. Third place in the ACC was North Carolina State. I mean, those teams were not good.
How many losses did they have?
North Carolina State had 3.
Yeah,
3 losses.
Yeah.
How come LSU's
Clemson had 4? North Carolina
3 losses.
What you say?
LSU's 13 with 3 losses. I'm just asking.
Because I love the SEC. But I will say this, Justin, to your point. Yeah, this year the ACC was not tough. But historically with the college football playoff, the ACC has performed better than the Pac-12.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because Clemson's schedules haven't been great, and they've won fucking national titles. And they love them hoes. Any year Clemson had 1 loss, they're in the playoff. Clemson started the year 5 with this same thing, and then they were shitty. And then I just don't understand, like, what do you tell, like, what's the point of scheduling a tough opponent? I'm just curious, because Florida State is going to beat the Heisman Trophy winner in a non-power big Power 5 matchup. Didn't count for shit. And LSU probably would have beat Alabama. How come they didn't factor that in? He was killing Alabama until they got hurt, and then Alabama barely pulled away, but that didn't matter. He finishes that game, LSU probably wins. It takes a 4th and 31 to beat Auburn, who lost to New Mexico State the week before. We're talking about the same Alabama team that everyone's talking about. It's been great all year, where their quarterback got benched, and they were in a 4th quarter game against South fucking Florida.
Yes.
Because Millward wasn't playing.
Yeah, because he got benched because he was ass against Texas.
I heard the theory between that was that who was it? I think Nick Saban was like fucking star. No, Tommy Reese was like one the Alabama OC was wanting to see what the backup could do, and Saban was like, "Yeah, we want to start him against South Florida because we know we're going to win and see how shitty he is." And he didn't play again, and then Alabama went on a run.
And you do know, when you talked about they didn't value the ACC record, you do know Florida State has a stronger strength of record than Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they didn't value it. It's all right. Okay. I'm just saying. What? And then it's a fact, too, that comical ass TV show had Kirby Smart and Mike on the damn split screen, knowing both are fucking pissed. Trying to be like, oh, how do you feel about the other team being left out? Why the fuck are you asking that?
For ratings, Martin.
Any other sport, bro. I was really sitting here. I was like, where the fuck could this happen in any other sport? It'd be like someone's hurt.
This can't, because every other sport doesn't pick their pick the people who are going to the playoff.
I'm just saying, bro, if we're talking about consumers, damn, the Giants never should have went to the Super Bowl to play the undefeated Patriots. I'm just saying, if we really want to go through this list, the 2004 Pistons, damn, that fix should have been, because, you play the game on fucking paper, and no one wanted to see the Pistons versus the Lakers in 04, or nobody wanted to see Dwight Howard versus Kobe Bryant when that should have been LeBron versus Kobe. But what happened? You play the game on the damn field. I'm just saying, I mean, if the consumer is all we're talking about, then
the examples that you were saying have nothing to do with this shit at all.
I'm just saying, they
literally have nothing to do with this. You're just mad.
How am I mad? Oh, you want to talk about consumer? How did Ohio State get left out multiple years? Justin, we have the best fan base in the country. If we're worried about consumers, like, do we really have to keep going?
No.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. I said my piece.
Ohio State had any of the top 10 viewed games this year? If you only care about the consumer, then Ohio State should be in the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
This is why
Ohio State had 20 million people watching that Michigan game. The Iron Bowl, the game that Alabama lost, and Alabama won, they had half that. But we care about the consumer, but Ohio State's not in the playoff. Okay.
I mean, the same shit's going to happen when we go to 12, Justin. There's going to be that non-conference team that's undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Someone always gets fucked. Someone always gets fucked.
Well, now that the whole world knows winning doesn't matter anymore, I mean, you might as well just play some cupcake people and get some bots on your Instagram to promote your show so that people are watching your games, because that's what matters. I'm just saying.
Shit, y'all can pay me. I'll throw it on the screen. I ain't going to watch it, but it'll count as a view.
That's all you got to do now. And then, speaking of Ohio State, Byron, what's going on with your team?
A lot of people are leaving.
Your team? Oh, no.
You disassociated now?
I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, Justin, I'm mad because we have the number one fan base and we're not in the playoffs. It's not what the consumers wanted, so. Just saying.
Okay. Okay. I swear to God, if Georgia whoops the dog shit out of Florida State, we had to put this all to bed.
That's fine, but that's on the field. At least they get a chance.
That's true.
Then what happens when
Justin,
Michigan,
you
if
just
Michigan
had to
beats the
say
dog shit out of
consumers.
Alabama?
I am, because I'm one of them. I don't want to see Florida State without Jordan Travis in that chat. I said it. I don't. I want to see Alabama. I want to see Alabama versus Michigan. I want to see Saban win a national title again.
Why? The word consumer, because you noticed, like, almost every sentence this man said, he's like, you're a consumer now.
Funny.
I know. The person who's actively powerlifting, trying to win meets, is just a consumer. I hope someone comes to your meet like, dang, I don't want Justin to win, even though he lifted 550, because he's not good on my consumer eyes.
He's not getting those Instagram likes.
What? What?
There's plenty of motherfuckers who lift way more than me that actually deserve to win. I ain't tripping.
No, but hey.
But you don't even get to go to the meet. What they tell you, hey man, we can't let you lift in this meet.
You qualify, but the fans said, nah, they don't want to see you.
Well, the sport of powerlifting, no one really gives a fuck about it. So that ain't gonna be an issue.
What do you mean? They got millions of views on YouTube. I subscribe to them.
I'm telling you, in the grand scheme, no one give a fuck about that shit.
But to Byron,
it ain't football.
I'm just saying, man, rest in peace, Mr. Davis of Oakland. Didn't he say just win, baby? It's like, damn. He's looking up like, damn, that ain't true no more.
Oh, no.
That ain't true no more.
Not Al Davis, this nigga.
But to OSU's thing, Byron, on a serious note, like, this is the most people who've come out of to the transfer portal. More surprisingly, the starting quarterback of Ohio State's in the transfer portal, which is wild.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time the Ohio State quarterback left in the transfer portal. I don't think it's ever been a time.
Well, when Joe Burrow left, the transfer portal was not like it is now. That was like you got granted that thing by the NCAA, the waiver, and
right.
It was not like this.
Well, I guess Joe Burrow and Quinn Ewers. I should specify when a starting quarterback from Ohio State has entered the transfer portal.
Yes. I mean, this guy literally was in the highest view game of the year, had a chance to win it all, and he's in the portal. The starting quarterback. I mean, Cedric, how are you feeling about that?
Honestly, I'm not that upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. I'll put it like this. This fan base is tough.
Yes.
And really big expectations. You're riding the wave after CJ Stroud, who's doing phenomenally in the league. And so everyone's like, the back hype is up. People have been calling this dude's number almost every single game, even when the guy plays well.
Mm-hmm.
The one person you kind of went to the school with is likely going to the league.
Yep.
And so it'll just be you. And he's not the only player in the portal. Julian Fleming went in.
Which surprised me too, because why are you going when the two people when you were starting, the two people in front of you are going to the league?
Exactly. And so no matter what talks is that, whoever was planned to go first, you heard your next best receiver, your next man up is gone. And you're already on a team that people don't like you. Fans are calling for your seat. They're bringing a 5-star recruit who's people are saying they already rather have him start over you. They can't wait. They're asking for other people to transfer. They're hoping that other players currently in the portal transfer to Ohio State. to start over you. I mean, I'm not upset with the guy. Trying to see what options are left for him.
Agreed. I'm not upset. It's just interesting. Justin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, but I don't know Ohio State's plans, who they plan on hitting on the transfer portal recruits coming in. So yeah, it's a little I don't know that much to comment because I don't know OSU's plans, like what they might have said to these guys. They could have said something like, "Hey, you probably won't be playing. Like maybe you should enter the portal." Like Deion Sanders says to some of his players. So I don't really know everything that's going on with all that.
Yep, Deion said that to his players, and that's why they stopped blocking for his son. So reportedly,
damn,
I'm just saying. Reportedly, it was said that allegedly Ryan Day had a meeting with Kyle and his dad, and they're upfront saying, "Hey, we're going to be looking in the portal. We're going to look for a quarterback, but we want you to stay and compete because I mean you're the starter right now. So, not saying that we're going to bring someone to replace you, but we want you to. We're going to weigh all of our options, and we want to, want you to compete." And then Kyle's just like, allegedly, he's like, no, don't want to compete, and I'm out, which goes into the whole other thing how people don't want to compete anymore. They could just get in the portal and either get left there or go to a lesser team. But where are you going to go? You're the starting quarterback at Ohio State.
I mean, he could definitely go somewhere else. I mean, it won't be obviously Ohio State level of, prestige or shit, even spotlight, but yeah, he's definitely going. There's definitely a team that's going to pick him up for sure.
I heard Anthony Schlegel talking about the stuff too about leaving and all that stuff is fine, but you're not going to get developed the same. Ohio State, you get developed, you could be a second, third string person and still make the fucking NFL because of being developed.
Yep.
Well, I will say this. Quarterbacks from Ohio State get a tough shake in the NFL.
That is true.
And so I don't know what Mr. McCord's future endeavors are, but I don't think he's going to get developed. Depending on where he goes, he has to go Power 5 somewhere notable if he wants a shot at the next level. And you have to start and put up good numbers too. So,
I'm just saying. And besides, you were true with the quarterback, but even like we talked about the place of recent memory, we've had a first round quarterback since Dwayne Haskins. Yeah, since Dwayne. But I mean, Justin, what round was your friend Jonathan Cooper picked in?
Oh God, shit. He wasn't a first or second round pick.
Oh no, and where did he go to school?
He went to Ohio State,
and now he's a starting contributor on the Denver Broncos defense. You just get developed. I love picking on this person. Noah Brown had one good game at this fucking school, and that got him drafted against Oklahoma.
Yep, 4 touchdowns.
Coop was a 7th round pick.
Yep. If you look through, I mean, damn. Ohio State, as everyone said now, when you get developed at Ohio State, you go, if you get a chance to go to the league, you perform well. I mean, there's been a whole bunch of other schools who've had wide receiver talent. It doesn't always pan out in the NFL, but if you look the past, every wide receiver that's come from Ohio State the past 5 to 7 years, major contributor on their team.
Well, I will say this too, though. Like, it depends on what you're going for, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the NFL is made up of individuals at the peak of athletic ability. And then you go in there, and what system you're in, what team you land on, how long you stay, your health, if you stay healthy and don't get injured, how you elevate if you elevate in the preseason and practice squad stuff and reps, that all helps you too. Also, the size and build matter because, I mean, the Bosa brothers are fucking freaks of nature.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no wonder why they're doing well. And then Chase Young as well. Like, Ohio State's defensive line historically has been very well for the past 5 or 6 years. So that's fine. Again, I can't say every single position at Ohio State you're going to get developed to be like, oh, you're going to be developed to play in the NFL for sure. You're going to get burned and you're going to do successful. I don't know. I can't say that for sure, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because even the corners we've made fun of all these years have randomly become first and second round picks.
Yeah, but some of the corners that we've had in the NFL actually do get shat on, though.
Oh, they do, but
I've watched these
they
niggas.
still make it. They still make it. I miss the Saints days where the Saints only used to draft Buckeyes.
I miss those days too.
But the portal already opened, and there's 1,184 players in the first day compared to last year, 775.
That's absolutely insane.
I'll say this, though. Another quarterback into the portal.
There's a good amount of them.
Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma.
DJ Ungalele from Oklahoma State.
Justin
Again. Yep.
Well, yeah, Cam Ward from Washington State entered the portal too.
Mm-hmm.
But I get that. Those niggas are about to be playing like Mountain West teams next year. So
I was interested about the Oklahoma dude. I'm like, why are you leaving?
Exactly. Listen, you're about to play the SEC.
I don't know how he still has eligibility left. He's been there since like 18.
That COVID year, man.
Yep. Yeah. Sam Hartman's like 27. Like,
yeah, but
still balling.
I think he's out of eligible. He has to be at this point.
I mean, he has a full ass degree and master's and possibly a doctorate at this point in time. Like, this man played his full 4 years at Wake Forest and then came to Notre Dame.
I would also say with this Ohio State team, like, it's one of the first times in a long time we don't know who's next up. I couldn't tell you who's going to be the best receiver on the team right now since Fleming's potentially leaving. For the past 7 years, you're like, oh, this person's leaving. Jackson Smith and Jig, but this person's leaving. Oh, look at Marv, what he did in the Rose Bowl. Like,
what was the guy's name?
And then running back wise, Byron told me, do you know all our running backs or potentially seniors are all leaving? But we didn't get fucking Mr. Ohio, who is a running back and is going to Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah. Maya Williams just declared for the draft yesterday. No news on Travion Henderson. So then Travion Henderson probably go. And then Evan Pryor just entered the portal yesterday, who probably would have been the next.
And Chip Trainum's a senior.
Chip Trainum's a senior, so he's graduating.
All those hard niggas I played against who went to Pickerington went to Michigan too. Shit.
See? Mm-hmm. That's not just see.
I was under Urban Meyer's watch.
That's even worse because he was talking about Ohio. But the fact that you're a position you're going to need and you don't even try.
What was that?
No, just like you're going to need a running back, and Mr. Ohio's a running back, and you're not like, hey, come here. They're like, nah, I want to go play at Michigan.
Yeah.
What?
I don't get that because like a lot of those Pickerington dudes in Ohio, except the Bournes, they go to Michigan. Taco went to Michigan. Jake
he did.
Went to Michigan. Like, yeah, that shit's even weird to me. I don't get that. Like, I don't got nothing for that.
The running back thing, at least of late, like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, on 3, Ohio State has the second ranked recruiting class behind Georgia, so
that's good.
Freshmen coming in.
It's also interesting too because I know we've talked about this we did that NIL pod. We talked about college football. That's why a college football coach, that job is terrible. Besides the pay, because now you recruit people and you still have to recruit them, or they'll hop in the transfer portal. But if they hop in the transfer portal, or you get someone from the transfer portal, the people you're recruiting in high school might decommit from your place because they're like, oh, I'm not saying Air Jordan is, but Air Jordan could be like Nolan. I said Air Jordan, Michael. Air Nolan could be like, oh, they just got the dude from Oklahoma. I know I ain't starting this year. So, and this is Ohio State. They're going to go get another 5-star quarterback who's going to be behind me next year, and I still may not start. Just not saying he's going to do it, but that's some of these high school kids' mindset now. Because the first signing thing is in a couple of weeks. So you got to get this shit taken care of, man. It's crazy.
A couple of people early signed, they already happened. But the big show is in February.
Yeah. But a lot of these people do it now in December because of this NIL shit and the transfer portal because you want to get your spot before.
There are fucking 3 sign days. My real job, I sell media backdrops sometimes, and it's like November, there's one in December, and then there's a big show in February. It's 3.
It's crazy. But we'll have to be seeing because now everyone's wondering if the next Ohio State quarterback is on this roster or in the portal.
I have a question.
Mhm.
If they select Common Core, since he's entering the transfer portal, does he still play against Missouri?
Absolutely not. Which you telling someone, yeah, I'm potentially breaking up with you, but I want to play?
Well, actually, in that scenario, sometimes that does happen.
I mean, yeah, you could come back.
I don't.
I was gonna
come back. We
I was gonna say like in the thing you said like I'm breaking up with you. I mean, yeah, like that.
I couldn't see it. I couldn't see him be like, nah. Especially Ryan Day be like, oh, okay, well, now I know you're gone, so I'm gonna try out new people.
Like it's more of a you quit your job or you coming back to work type of thing.
Yeah, well, that's right.
That's not. I said don't use the breakup thing because them motherfuckers be, after the breakup, motherfuckers still be going every now and then.
That's true. That's a good point, Cedric. That's a good point. All right. Well, Justin already told us who's going to win the Heisman. Does anyone else think anyone else is going to win the Heisman?
No.
Okay.
Wait, you said Jaden Daniels?
Mm-hmm.
He probably is. I'm still rooting for Michael Penix Jr. though.
I'm just saying.
If he had more than one touchdown on Friday, I would have said him. But he only had one touchdown. Their running back got the MVP of that game.
Wouldn't it, Justin? But wouldn't it help the consumer's eyes if the Heisman Trophy winner was in the playoffs?
Yeah, probably, but not. I ain't going down this way. I ain't doing this shit for the rest of it. I ain't doing this shit for the next 2 hours with you. We got NFL to do. We are not bringing this shit up when we record that shit.
I'm just saying. Well, the NFL
first words out of his mouth. Yeah,
they actually care about wins and losses. So
I don't know. They care about consumers too, bro.
They do, but a shitty ass Pittsburgh Steelers team, they cannot deny them if they win enough games and they do the stuff. They're in the playoffs.
No, they cannot. Shit, the NFL expanded the playoffs to let more shitty teams into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, with the stats, he has 50 total touchdowns. I mean, I think someone said like they compared that his numbers are better than Joe Burrow's Heisman year numbers in a way, but it's like that obviously the Joe Burrow team was undefeated and all that, but I don't disagree. And then last thing, Army versus Navy. It's the only game. They would make sure it's the only game.
Oh God, you gonna make me pick this game? Like I fucking know who's about to win this shit.
Yeah, just pick a game. I mean, I'll take Army. It's the only game It's the only game this week. They always make sure it's the only game.
I don't know who's gonna win. Take the under.
Well, that's a good bet.
I mean, yeah.
The under is 27.5.
20. Dang. They give Iowa a run.
Too.
These are two triple option teams that are only going to run the ball.
Yeah, so they both run the same option.
And the defenses know exactly how to stop that shit.
That's true.
I wish Marvin Harrison could win the Heisman since we've had 6 finalists in the last 6 years. But they always get fucking slighted when they go to these things.
I fucking wish Marvin Harrison wins the Heisman. I'll win $400 if that shit happens.
Well, he didn't have the Omega breakout game he needed against Michigan, and they lost. So
no, he did not.
Well, next time we probably come back, it'll be after all of the things happening. I mean, I don't know who the fuck is going to play on Ohio State against Missouri. And even if people don't play, I already know how SEC fine ball country is going to be if Missouri beats Ohio State, even with their top players. So, Justin, is Ohio State going to beat Missouri?
That shit's a month away. Why are you asking me now? I need to know who's playing. I need to see the opt-out sheets.
Because we're not coming back with this until after the national championship.
I need to see the opt-out list. Oh, my God. You know if Luther Burns III is going to play or not.
Well, while you're thinking that, I'll also ask, so when we come back, who's going to be the national champion?
Who's going to be in the national championship?
No, who is going to be the national champion?
Oh, who's going to win that bitch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Well, to answer your first question, I think Ohio State's going to win against Missouri. I don't know how motivated they're going to be, but I'm just going to say that they win because I'm going to be a homer in that department. And then who's about to win the national championship? Let's see. Fuck Michigan, so Bama's going to make it to the national championship. And I think I want to go Texas.
So you have the rematch of week
I don't want
2.
to see that rematch, though. I don't want to see Michigan national championship game. I really don't know. Fuck it. We'll go Michigan. Michigan won it all.
I don't know if this state would be able to handle that.
No, we will not.
That would be the funniest out. The funniest outcomes is Michigan or Alabama winning.
That is true.
Alabama because how they got in, and Michigan because they cheaters.
That is true. You're 100% true. Right on that. And one of them is guaranteed to be in the championship.
Yep.
So you said the winner of that semifinal game wins it all. Okay. Byron?
I'm going Washington because I'm still riding with Michael Penix Jr. and them boys.
Okay. He can have like a Deshaun Watson type thing, how he went and won it all. Cedric.
Man. If you asked me at the beginning of the year before I found out Michigan was cheating, I would say Michigan because they were my top 2 between Michigan and Georgia to win it all. But the way this shit is unfolding, I'm going to say Bama.
Yeah.
Well, and the only reason being is the storybook rematch. The one team that beat them this whole year, if they beat Washington, I fucks with Michael Penix. But for the views, Texas has to beat Washington. Alabama has to beat Michigan. Bama gets to repeat in a rematch so Saban can clear his name this season and say, listen, we got our revenge. And we're back on top. And plus Saban money, Saban got money.
That's true.
Saban gave the committee a bag, didn't he, Cedric?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, that is for sure.
Partnership.
A bag full of coin.
$3 billion.
Right.
I agree with Justin that the winner of the championship is going to come from Michigan and Alabama. I just feel, oh my God, I really do not want to pick Michigan, but Jim Harbaugh was suspended the first 3 games of the year. The last 3 games of the year. Still undefeated. Beat well, he didn't. His team beat Ohio State 3 straight years. Last year, let TCU put a 50 burger on their ass.
It's now or never for his ass.
Yes, because he will not be there next year. So if you're gonna win this title, do it now.
They really gonna fire him?
No, he's gonna leave.
He gone.
The NCAA can't punish him if he's gone.
I mean, I would leave.
That's the strategy. We know that move. Terrell Pryor, my guy. What's up?
And then if Michigan wins the title, Ryan Day's on DEFCON 1.
Oh my God.
Man, Michigan wins the title. Hot. My brother's going to talk so much shit. I may end up getting in a fight before next time y'all see me because I'm not listening to this nigga for the rest of this fucking year.
Which might be the best thing for Ohio State if Michigan wins because then they're like, all right, now we need to win.
That will put the ultimate fire under everyone's ass.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everyone.
You know what I was thinking earlier? I might side with Justin that Ohio State might need to lose against Missouri.
Well, Justin said they're going to win. So
I don't really think that. I need to see the opt-out sheets and shit. Like I don't know who's about to be
Justin,
playing.
We won't be back by that time.
I'm just saying. You can put me on the podcast now, but my bet on that game has not been decided yet.
I'm just saying it's been
I don't
crazy.
know who the fuck about to play.
Each each New Year's 6 bowl that we've played in recently has propelled the next star of the team next season. Yeah. Jackson Smith and Jigba had that monster game. Obviously, he got hurt, but it still propelled him into the national spot. Marvin Harrison Jr. went fucking off. That propelled his Heisman candidacy. Like, I heard
there's going to be some receiver. There's some guy.
Someone's going to explode, and we're going to be like, oh.
I feel like there is one. I just don't know the guy's name. I know he played like a couple different downs, and he came in. I think it's like number 19. I don't know his name because they mentioned he was a 5-star receiving recruit. I think he's like a sophomore or a freshman. So
that's true, but these niggas be opting out of these bowl games. Even the fucking New Year's 6 games, they be opting out of. I don't know who's about to play.
Well, it's people who have to. It's only the people who are going to the draft. I know it's not the whole team. Like you're not having a freshman opt out to not play.
I don't know about these. I don't know about these young niggas, man.
Well, that's a whole that's a whole other issue on competitiveness and and just I mean we've talked about a lot of stuff, and Justin is right too on one thing. I mean, those two teams that are playing each other both have. I mean more Florida State, but Georgia, like you said, Justin, they lost one game by 3 points, and they don't get to defend their title.
Someone in that game won't be. Whoever wins that game will be the most pissed off team between Florida State and Georgia will be who wins that game. I don't know who's going to be more motivated: Georgia, who missed out off a 3-point loss to Alabama, or Florida State going undefeated and not even getting a shot.
I mean, is Brock Bowers going to play?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
I doubt it.
No, he's going to the league. I wouldn't risk it. Personally.
I can't even say any shit because fucking Bryce Young played last year, but that's Saban power. Both their top picks, the 1 and the whatever the Will was it Will? The 1 and 3 played last year.
I've seen enough times where these motherfuckers have fucked up knees or Achilles or shit, and they about to go to the league. I personally would not risk that. If I know I'm about to be a first round pick, come on now.
I mean, you can get hurt playing pickup basketball, so I've never really understood that argument. So
you can get hurt bowling.
You shouldn't be playing pickup basketball if you about to get drafted too. What?
Yeah, like Cedric said, you can get hurt bowling. You shouldn't drive then either, though, Justin, because you're in fear of getting in a car accident.
See, that is totally an extreme of what I'm even saying.
I'm just saying you shouldn't do anything because you might have the fear of getting hurt.
You're right. I should just fucking live in a bubble. If I'm
just saying.
Not miss out $5 million. What are you doing there? It don't gotta be this literal.
I'm just saying.
I mean, listen. Unless you're trying to be tough, you'd be like David Njoku, burn yourself and go still play on Sunday.
Well, that's true.
I'm just saying.
That dude's frustrating. Don't get me started on.
With that being said, that's the L7C podcast. When we come back, we're going to have a national champion, and we'll let you know what's going on in the off-season. L7C podcast, signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.